Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making fondant baby shower cupcake toppers and also matching piped cupcakes. Going to be making the fondant toppers first so that they have time to dry before decorating the cupcakes. To begin with, I started rolling out some white fondant to the thickness of 2 to 3 millimeters and then cut out round circles using a cookie cutter and also scalloped circles. I was making 24 fondant cupcakes and 24 piped cupcakes, so I needed 8 of each design that I was creating. Once the fondant circles were cut out, I placed these on a chopping board lined with baking paper. Once I had cut out my 8 white fondant discs and the 8 scalloped discs, I started to roll out pale green fondant. For this fondant disc, I am first using a debosser to create the word baby that will stand out on the fondant. To do this, I lay the acrylic on top of the fondant and press down as firm as I can to ensure that the fondant is stuck to the debosser. I'm then going to remove the acrylic debosser and you can see that I have the word baby raised in the fondant. I'm going to use a round cookie cutter to cut that out. I repeat this 8 times. Now all my discs are cut out, I'm moving on to decorating the scallop discs with tiny fondant bears. Today I'm using a silicone mould for the bears. I start by dusting the mould with corn flour and tapping off the excess. I then take a small ball of brown fondant and start to press that into the mould, ensuring it's covering the whole teddy bear. Then using my knife to cut off the excess fondant at an angle so that the back of the bear will be flat. And using my finger, I push in the edges of the cut fondant away from the mould. This helps ensure a clean finish to the bear when it's turned out. Once happy, I'm going to stretch the silicone mould to help release the fondant easily and then turn over and push in the centre to release the bear. It should just fall out. I repeated this 8 times so that I had 8 bears. Then I used my paintbrush to add a small amount of water to the white scalloped fondant discs in the centre to attach the bears. I didn't get footage of this, but I chose to paint the bows of the bears with edible gold paint to match the teddy bears that were on the matching cake for these cupcakes. Using my edible marker, I also made a dot for both the eyes. Now moving on to making the rainbows. I started by rolling out 3 logs of fondant really thin in pale green, dark green and a nude colour. Using my smallest cookie cutter, I moulded the pale green fondant around the cutter to give it a nice curve shape and cut the end of the fondant straight on both sides, leaving an upside down U shape. I then cut a smaller amount of the nude colour fondant to fit inside that U, and again the same with the darker green fondant to make it look like a rainbow. I attached each colour to the other with a bit of water to make them all stick together. Once I was happy with the shape, I then cut the ends of the rainbows so they were all the same length. I then attached these with water to the white round fondant discs I'd cut out earlier. I pressed down slightly on the ends of the rainbow to thin out the fondant so it would be easier to attach the fondant clouds to the rainbow ends. Using 6 small balls of white fondant to create the clouds, I placed 2 on each side of the ends of the rainbow, pressed down to flatten them out slightly, and then added the last ball in the centre. Now all my fondant discs are complete. I'm going to let them dry either overnight or just for a few hours until they are firm. Now moving on to piping on the cupcakes. Using the same colours as the fondant topper, I'm using white, pale green and dark green buttercream with gold sprinkles. For the white buttercream cupcakes, I'm using a 1M tip to create a rose. Hold your piping bag directly above the cupcake and from the centre of the cupcake, using firm even pressure to squeeze the piping bag to create the centre, and then pipe the rest of the cupcake anti-clockwise. Using a large open star tip for my pale green cupcakes, I did my normal single rosette. Holding the piping bag directly above, start the rosette at the top of the cupcake slightly off centre. Using even pressure and piping the rosette anti-clockwise. finish the rosette, I stop squeezing the piping bag and flick off right where I started piping at the top of the cupcake. The last 4 cupcakes in the box, I'm going to include all 3 colours. First, doing a small rosette of the pale green on the top left corner, followed by a small rosette of the white buttercream directly below. Using my darker green buttercream in a small open star tip, I am covering the rest of the cupcake with a back and forth piping motion. Alternatively, you could pipe a rope, which is essentially piping a rosette on the side in a loop. For the recipe for my vanilla cupcakes and vanilla buttercream, I will leave a link to the video in my description box below. Now these are all piped, I'm going to top them with gold sprinkles. On the white cupcakes, I used the long gold sprinkle and medium-sized balls. The green rosette, I used medium and large gold balls and spooned them where I flicked off my rosette. For the mixed cupcakes, I only used the small and medium gold sprinkles. I spooned them over the light green and the white rosettes. That is the piped cupcakes complete. Now to finish off the fondant cupcakes. As you won't see the buttercream underneath the fondant discs, you can do any piping you like. I just did rosettes in each colour except for the dark green buttercream, as the piping tip was too small, so I piped a donut and then a star in the centre of it. I then placed the fondant toppers on top of the buttercream, making sure to press down slightly. I used the white buttercream for the green fondant topper, pale green for the rainbows, and the dark green for the bear toppers. That's how I decorated cupcakes with both fondant toppers and different piping techniques to match an adorable baby shower theme. If you liked this video and want to see more tutorials all things baking and cake decorating, please like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any videos. I upload every Wednesday. See you next time!